Hello and welcome to Just Hoops. In today's video, we're going to talk about Jaren Jackson Jr. of the Memphis Grizzlies and his playoff impact, both positive and negative. Jaren Jackson Jr. has been underwhelming in these playoffs, but he's such a supreme talent that he could genuinely be an X factor moving forward for the Memphis Grizzlies this series versus Minnesota and moving forward. But his play will determine how far this team could go due to his immense talent level. So let's start off with the positives and talk about his offensive impact. Let's start on the offensive side of the floor by talking about his inside impact and skill set. On the offensive side of the floor, Jaren is very versatile, but in the inside, these first couple clips debut his ability to rebound at a really high level and be able to finish ferociously with great athleticism and length around the hoop. His ability to track down rebounds and make plays on the offensive glass has been major in his minutes for Memphis this series, whether that means finishing for himself, getting fouled, kicking out to the open shooter. He does it all in a variety of ways, along with being able to take second chance points to the next level, as Memphis has been one of the best second chance point teams in the league this season due to him and Steven Adams and Brandon Clark being highly active on the boards, and Jaren Jackson's a huge part of that recipe for success. Along with that, he's a really big time post presence where he's strong down low, has great length and touch, able to finish with either hand, through contact, around people. He's very skilled down there with his touch, able to finish through fouls. Just a big time player at the offensive end of the floor in the interior. The thing that makes him special in terms of scoring on the inside is his handle. He's able to put it on the ground, change direction, get by guys at his position, and really finish on the move. He really has a nice left hand for being his weak hand. Along with that, he does a great job at taking contact and absorbing it, trying to finish through, or just taking it, getting the foul, throwing it up, and just being smart with the ball in his hands. Now, let's talk about the X factor of his offensive game, his shooting ability. This series and this season, he hasn't been the best shooter, but he's shown in the past that he could really knock it down from deep. He has a smooth stroke. It is a set shot that doesn't look the prettiest at times, but if he gets this going, it could be the thing that unlocks Memphis and allows them to play at an even higher level than they already are. His ability to space the floor could really stretch defenses, put him in positions to be a stretch 5, stretch 4 man, and really cause havoc for defenses. Now, let's dive into the positives on the defensive end of the floor. Let's start by talking about his versatility. Jaren showed, especially in Game 2, that he has the ability to really guard on the perimeter and impact at all three levels of defense. We'll talk later about the interior, but on the perimeter, he's able to switch out, be aggressive, use his length, use his athleticism to stay in front, switch, and cause havoc and really force tough plays for perimeter players. He did a great job on Ant and forcing him to pass out or forcing him into really tough jumpers or step backs, which for him being a 4 or 5 man is phenomenal for his position with his great physical tool set. Next, let's talk about his ability to get out and contest. His great length and athleticism that makes him versatile in guarding on the perimeter was also huge in getting out and contesting jump shots from help positioning. In all these clips, you'll see he's recovering or he's helping, and he's getting out to the perimeter, hot hand, and really making things tough on jump shooters. This we'll talk about later in the negatives, but he needs to be able to stay smart with this, contest without fouling, and really just use his length and natural abilities to cause havoc out there. Now let's talk about his main strength on the interior as a defender. He's quite strong, he's physical, he's aggressive, he's a great shot blocker, which we'll talk about soon, but his ability to really hold his ground, be tough down there, make plays in the paint, block shots, contest. He just does it all on the inside for Memphis, as Steven Adams hasn't been able to play, and he's been really good for them during his minutes on the floor. Now, let's talk about his primary attribute as a defender, his ability to block and alter shots at the rim. He is great at understanding timing, understanding when the shot's going up, understanding where the offense is going. In terms of being a help defender, he's really good at understanding when a drive's coming, when to come over, use his quickness to make a play at the rim. As a primary on-ball defender, he does a good job at staying in front, putting his hands vertical and making a play also on shots down there. And in transition, does a great job at hustling back and making plays in chase down situations. Just his overall ability to use his length, use his athleticism to cause havoc deep in the lane is huge for him and his career in the future, and was the main thing that made him a Defensive Player of the Year candidate. Now it's time to talk about the issues that have been hindering him in these playoffs. So first things first, he's been really lacking in minutes, and this is due to foul issues. You'll see in these first couple that he's out of control in his shot blocking, really being out of position, being late, doing too much, or either mistiming his jump. He is an elite shot blocker, and he showed it throughout the year, but he is trying to do too much. He's pressing defensively, and he's trying to make these plays. Like, you can just tell that he wants to win so much, but he's doing it out of control. In three-point contests, you can even see he's getting in the space of the shooter rather than just contesting. He's late on some chase downs. He's late in help rotations. Along with that, he's just trying to outmatch the physicality of Cat, since Cat has been really setting the tone with him from the jump of the series, just getting up into him, and JJJ is trying to match it, and that attempt to match is turning into over physicality. Along with that, at the offensive end of the floor, he's been out of control with the ball in his hands. He's been turning it over way too much due to just player control fouls. He's crashing the glass uncontrollably, where he's just running guys over. These turnovers and these plays are just really tough to keep doing, and it's the reason that he's not able to be on the floor. He's just pressing too much offensively, pressing too much defensively, and it's hurting his minutes, and at the end of the day, it's hurting the Grizzlies also. He's a big-time player that needs to be on the floor for them, and these fouls, whether it's just him out of pure wanting to win these games, it doesn't matter because they're not smart plays, and at the end of the day, it's just hurting himself and the team. So overall, Jaren Jackson Jr., we highlighted his offensive impacts, his defensive impacts, but he really needs to clean up the issues. Foul trouble has hurt him tremendously, and the more that he is able to play in these playoffs, the better it'll be for the Grizzlies in the long run. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, learned something about Jaren Jackson Jr., as he has had struggles in these playoffs, but he showed glimpses of being a great impact player in the future. For more content like this, please like, subscribe, and share, and we will catch you guys in the next one.